Hello, everyone. Hi. So my name's Brianna, and I met Logan in college, and today has been such a treat. I just want to start by saying thanks to everyone for showing out and showing up, and, I'm glad that the rain has left, but this evening I want to tell a little bit of a story. Me and Logan go way back in college, but Trevor I didn't know for as long. But he's now become a part of our friendship and a part of my heart as well. So I'd like to tell a little bit of a story. But first, let's talk about Logan. A girl who I met and was immediately flung into the forest with for a week. I didn't know her. She didn't know me. The girl who rubbed my calf cramp when she met me 3 days ago in a cabin in the middle of the woods, just with that motherly instinct. She knew I needed her. The girl who helped scour my wardrobe for the perfect outfit before all of our formal functions in college, and is honestly the reason I look as nice as I do this evening. The girl who sings in the car with me, even though we all know she's a real singer and I'm just along for the ride. The girl who rode wild segways with me in the Capitol, lets me ride shotgun basically anywhere, and helps me cope with my math phobia on a regular basis. This woman stands before you today with a man that I couldn't have handpicked any better myself. I'll never forget the evening that I found out that Trevor Henley existed. I doubt that he will either. My dear sweet Logan floated into my dorm room and told me the fated words, Bree. So there's this guy. We proceeded to sit down on my bed, eat an entire bag of sugar snap peas, and I learned the happenings from the evening of what would become the fantastic pair of people that are before you this evening. So if you've ever had a best friend, you'll know what I mean when I say that my bristles kind of raised. I said, this guy is so good and so kind and so goofy and so sweet. And I just honestly was like, does that exist? I was a little bit concerned. So like any good best friend does, I asked for his contact information. And Logan, the ever-trusting friend that she is, obliged. Trevor and I had a lovely conversation, if you're wondering. I got to know him really well. I learned what he was studying in school, and I learned how he knew Logan, and I also convinced him to share his intentions with my best friend, with me. So, Bill, I like to think I did you proud and had a nice fatherly discussion with this young man. I don't think that Trevor had ever felt so threatened by a stranger that was a foot shorter than him, and certainly not with such southern flair. And before I knew it, where there was Logan, there was Trevor. And this was not a problem because wherever there was Trevor, there was a treat. He learned my favorite cookout milkshake order. He invited me to dinner. Well, I tagged along. I played third wheel a lot. There was even a time where I convinced him to get an entire eclair cake down to Logan's dorm room. Thank you, Tracy. That was fantastic, by the way. So, in closing, basically, Trevor, you won me over. What can I say? But, it wasn't the sweet treats that did it at all. I've watched you treat Logan like a queen for all this time now, and you've loved her so well. And trust me, I've been watching. I've been watching. You're an awesome friend to me, and you are a perfect person to stand beside my best friend for the rest of her life. I love you all so much, and I can't wait to see how God uses you all to bless those around you like he's blessed me.
All right, let's give it up for our next toaster, our best man, Coleman Lowry.
So, hello. My name's Coleman, and I just want to tell you all a little bit about the first time I ever met Trevor. But first, this is probably my favorite part of the whole speech. Webster's Dictionary says that a soulmate is a person who is perfectly suited to another in temperament. A soulmate you meet either at a very early age or you meet them randomly in a cookout line, a parking lot, or, in Trevor's case, he met his soulmate about 5 years ago when he first met me. However, I feel like I got to tell you all that as the best man, I don't know if I should be insulted or feel honored because his choices were me, his brother, or his dog. And, if Tater could be here today, Tater would be the best man. Probably give a better speech, too. But what I love is I love first impressions. I have two very similar first impressions of Trevor and Logan. Only one of them is still true to this day. My first impression of Trevor was, he seems like a really nice guy. Like he's offering to buy people drinks, food, offering to drive them places. Real quick, raise your hand if you have ever been in the same car as Trevor. If you haven't, look around. Everyone who raised their hand, you may be eligible to receive financial compensation for any trauma that Trevor Henley has put on your life. Even last night, we went down to get just like some Dr. Nuffs and some Gatorades, and Trevor's like, yeah, I'll drive. And going down that hill, I was like, oh, please, 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 please. Now, my first impression of the absolutely stunning bride, Logan, was kind of similar. It was the first day of school. I walk into chorale rehearsal, and usually when you first enter college, you are nervous. You are just like, what do I do? Where do I go? Do I stand here? Do I stand over here? And you would never think that on the exact same first day for me, Logan was the complete opposite. Logan stood there. She was ready to go. Like, I felt like this woman here was like a junior or senior, just by how she acted. You would also be able to tell just right away how loving she is, how caring, and all in all, just how great of a person she is and how much she loves Chick-fil-A. Let's be real. Now, when Trevor and Logan first started talking, I guess, that's what all the kids are saying these days. But I remember I went up to Trevor one day and I was like, what do you think about Logan? And he looked at me, gave me this weird little look like this, and said, hey, buddy, I got to tell you something. He proceeds to tell me about how Trevor and Logan had started hanging out, talking, and he was like, I truly feel something with this girl. Like, I truly think this is someone I'm meant to be with. So I looked at him and I said, don't screw it up. In fact, earlier today, like right before we walked out, I looked at him, I was like, hey, you haven't screwed it up yet. He's like, yeah, I did it. Like, I'm done. And I was like, Trevor, you haven't even said I do yet. You can still screw it up. You can still screw it up right now. But Trevor would always look at me and say, what is Logan's flaw? Because he's like, she's perfect. I can't find anything wrong with her. And still to this day, I can't really find a clear flaw. I'm also also saying this because if I say anything mean to the bride, I'll have her whole family and the bride coming after me. Because Logan's already threatened to punch me in the mouth several times today. However, I got to tell you, Logan, Trevor has some flaws, believe it or not. So I have here this little notebook. And hold this real quick. I made sure I wrote a couple things down. No, not this page. This page just says Trevor sucks. That says reasons why Trevor sucks. Here it is, Trevor's flaws. I just put down a couple because, just look at him. There are so many things with Trevor. All right, flaw number one for Trevor Henley. He's named Trevor. Flaw number two. This is something that really gets me. And this is something he just started doing with me. I don't know if he's done it with you yet. Anytime I've sent him a text message, just saying like, hey man, what's going on? I get a phone call. Hey buddy, what's going on? I asked him a question earlier this week, just like, hey, what time is the rehearsal? Just to make sure I get there at the right time. Ring, ring, ring. Hey buddy, what's going on? It's a flaw, obviously. Number three, his stupid laugh. Number four, I mentioned it earlier. It's his driving. He, for some reason, thinks that he is Dale Sr. driving on Daytona 500. And unlike Dale, I don't want to go into a wall in his car. Flaw number 5. This is the last one. Trevor, if you ever get another dog, a puppy, do not leave it to Logan and me to train. Trevor said, I got this dog. His name's Tater Tot. And then he'd say, I got to go to work. Bye. We lived on the 3rd floor. We had to teach the dog how to walk down the stairs, go outside, use the bathroom. And Trevor would come back. He's like, how'd Tater do? So, I listed just a couple flaws. But in all seriousness, I have never seen 2 people mesh so well together. 2 people from the get-go that I was like, dang, I want something like Trevor and Logan have. And, you know, I am so excited for what the future holds for you two. I know God's got incredible plans for you two, and I'm so happy that you both are my friends. Cheers.